Thank you very much, Jessica. So as some of you may know, my name is Gorana Gomirac, and I'm GLAM manager at Wiki Serbia, but also from recently, I am a part of Let's Connect working group. So I'm really glad to be here today with you and with all of our colleagues from CEE Hub, but other affiliates. Today we will talk about Wiki Loves Earth campaign. So I will share my screen, just a second. And we will have some sharers that will share their experience and knowledge, and hopefully we will all learn from this. So today we are doing this learning clinic in cooperation with CEE Hub with Barbara and Tony. So I will give my word to them to present themselves a little bit.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to this learning session. My name is Barbara Klen, and I'm coordinator of CEE Hub. CEE Hub stands for Central and Eastern European Hub. Actually, Wikimedia CEE Hub is a network of communities and Wikimedia affiliates that have been organized in a Wikimedia CEE group, and that group has been working together since 2011. But also since the last year, we have this Wikimedia project. So we are not a registered organization, but we are a regional hub that is trying to formalize the already ongoing collaboration in Central and Eastern European region. And we are here as a hub to provide services for communities, but also individuals, to support them in their work and enable them to grow, and not to grow in a way that we see how it should be, but in a way that how they see it fit. My colleague is also here. His name is Tony Ristovski, and we will be part of this session that we are organizing together with Let's Connect, and we will explain you a bit further later about the kit that we prepared, and also some other things. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Everyone.
Oh, sorry.
Hello. Yeah, just to say that hello to everyone, and thanks for joining this session. This is the first of the kind, learning session that is organized by CEE Hub. So we're very happy to be a host for this kind of sessions. So along with Let's Connect.
Thank you very much, Barbara. Thank you very much, Tony. So as I said, today we will talk about Wiki Loves Earth, and we have some amazing speakers today. So just a second. Today we have Başak and Zafer from Wikimedia Turkey. We have Nicola from Shared Knowledge, and we have Anton and Olesia from Wikimedia Ukraine. So some of them are local organizers, some of them are international organizers, and from their different points of view, they will present their experience, how do they make this campaign work. But before we start talking about Wiki Loves Earth, let's talk a little bit about Let's Connect. So today we have one of many learning clinics we organize, and it's called CEE Hub Practices to Support Wiki Loves Earth campaign organizers. So welcome one more time. What is actually Let's Connect? Let's Connect is a project founded by Wikimedia Foundation, but it is its aim is to be a learning program, peer-to-peer learning program, actually to be some safe space where we can all learn. So it is operated as joint community foundation initiative. So we are working together and we are trying to make it work better for communities, for affiliates, and for all of us to learn something new. Remember, this is a safe space for learning. So we are talking about our mistakes. We are talking about maybe harder ways we learn something new. And we are here also to have a good time. So feel comfortable and feel confident to ask anything you would like to know more about. Let's Connect, about this campaign, about anything you would like to know more. And please follow our learning clinics and activities. So why are we here today? main goal of this learning clinic is to be aware of the skills and principles we need to have to organize this campaign, to learn from experience, to relate it to organization of the contest, to learn about team building, to learn how to make those lists, how to follow rules, how to choose what is the best. So we are here today to learn about from our experienced organizers. So today we have some agenda. This is the introduction part. We will have a short icebreaker. Then we will have Barbara and Tony talking about their toolkit. And then we will have the main part of this learning clinic discussion with speakers. Please, if you have any questions, feel free to write it in the chat, to write it in the retro board that we will share with you. So feel free to ask anything or to start a discussion about some topic related to Wiki Loves Earth that you would like to talk more. After that, we'll have a short discussion and we will have a closure. So before we start talking serious things, let's have this icebreaker. What is some food from your country that you would not recommend people to eat? For example, here in Serbia, we have something called pihtije, and from my whole life, I was not brave enough to try that because it is like some meat jello. It's made from not so good parts of meat and it's cooked and it has a lot of onion and it smells really bad. So what is something from your country, your traditional dish, that you would not recommend for anyone to try? Please write it in the chat. So in Serbia, we have pihtije, if you would like to see more. I'm writing in the chat. Ukraine has something similar to Serbian thing. That's interesting. The soup from Colombia. Okay.
The pronunciation is changua. It is awful.
Can you tell me a little bit more about it?
It has like uncooked egg inside. It's not meant to exist.
That sounds interesting. Wow, but we have a lot of food that we are not recommending to try. So we have from Croatia, tripica. Stew made of cow guts and a lot of, oh God, that doesn't sound good. And
yeah, it's basically some kind of soup made of intestines, and I never tried it. It's like, it looks bad and it smells bad. It's something I wouldn't recommend, definitely.
So we have mumbar dolmasi from Turkey. Okay, it sounds interesting. We have flaki, shirdan, koladots. That sounds interesting. So are those meals mostly connected with meat, are made of meat, or?
Yes.
I think almost everyone is connected with meat.
Okay, so we have we are experienced in experimenting with making meals with meat. Oh, we have someone who likes mumbar dolmashi, but Bashak, you do not agree with Zafir?
My grandmother cooks it very well.
Because she's a hometown, the mumbar dolması coming from Adana, and she's hometown is the Adana, it's normal. I didn't eat before the mumbar dolması, but This looks like not good. If you open the Wikipedia page, you can see to that picture. What is the mumbar dolması?
But we all have some amazing dishes, and we have to agree on that. Okay, so most of these meals are made of some parts of animals that we are not so willing to try, and that we can all agree on that. But those are traditional meals, so we also have to respect that part of our culture. Okay, so thank you very much for sharing your thoughts about this food. It's very interesting to know when we are traveling, what are the things we are not willing to try. Okay, thank you very much one more time. Now we can start with Wiki Loves Earth Toolkit. So I'm giving my word to Barbara and Tony. Thank you very much.
Okay, hi again. I shared the link of the toolkit that Tony and I, together with Ukrainian International Wiki Loves Earth team, prepared some time ago. We shared the toolkit with you, so I hope that some of you had a chance to read it beforehand. If not, also it's not a problem. You will all receive the same information after the session. And also based on this learning clinic, we might also extend the toolkit if there are some additional questions or something else that we want to include. The toolkit is, we hope, very understandable and easy and prepared like in a way that it's easy to understand and read. It's divided in 3 parts. First part is basic information, and then it continues to part where we talk about requirements and rules. And then the last part is about funding. I will say something about first and second part, and then Tony, my colleague, will take it over. So basically, because we mentioned a few times already Wiki Loves Earth, and for those of you who have been organizing this for years, it's like easy, makes sense, but but for those who are maybe who are thinking about organizing it for the first time, let's just start with some basic information. So Wiki Loves Earth is an annual international photographic competition, and it's held throughout May, June, and July. This doesn't mean that you have to organize it always like during these 3 months. So basically per country, you decide with your team how long this will take. So it can take basically, it can last for 3 months, but you can also decide to make it last 1 month. The contest is about taking pictures of local natural heritage and sites, landscapes, national parks, well, it can also be caves, well, everything natural and protected. And it's not only about some sites protected on a national level, but also about things which are local, but also protected. It's important to know that because the teams are organizing this per country, so this means that there are always local organizing teams. These rules and requirements can differ per country. It really depends on organizing team, but some things are in common for everyone. Something which is also important to say in this first basic introduction part is that together with the local part, we also have international part of the contest. You will hear a bit later more in detail about that one. So this is like basic information, and then going through to the second part, the rules and requirements. In the toolkit, you have it like explained in steps, but the most important thing is like having this team, which is devoted and willing to take on the organization of Wiki Loves Earth in their country. And after that, you have to go to the Commons website and you have to fill in information. Basically, you have to add yourself, I mean your team as or your country as a participating one, and you have to get in touch also with the international Wiki Loves Earth team. In the toolkit you have provided links and also email addresses how to do that. After that, you are supposed to create your website or landing page, and there you should provide information which will be valid on local level for this competition. Also in this part, which is concerning organizing on the local level, we are talking about banners, so there is some information about that, and very important part, information about jury, because this competition, well, it's a competition and it has a goal that we collect as many as possible for good quality photos. So per country, you always have to organize this jury, which should contain minimum 3 people. And in the toolkit, you have also some information about technical tools which can help organizers and also admins and jury how to how to actually vote for these photos, because you will have to in the end decide about the best ones. Well, let's not forget about the prizes, which are also important, because you can organize the contest without giving out the prizes, but having this aspect can attract more people to participate. So it's also good to think about that. Prices can differ per country because it depends on the way how local team decides about it. Then after this first part of the competition on the local level is ending, there is a second part. It's an international round of the contest. My colleague Olesia will tell a bit more about this in the further during this learning clinic. So I will not go in details, but I think it's just important to point out that the deadline for the submission in the first round is like end of August, but you will hear more about rules and requirements from the colleague. Now, Tony will say something more about the lists, because that's very important. You have to understand actually what you can take photos of.
Yep. If you're like a first-time organizer of the Wiki Loves campaign, it is very useful to have a knowledge how to create a list and how to obtain a list in the first place. So lists are and codes per protected area. It is very important for organizers, for local organizers. So this session, I think it will be useful for you to hear from our sharers how they organize these lists in their countries, how they provide how they obtain the list, and how they after that create those lists during the contest. So I think that is we will spend quite a time on that topic. Another also interesting topic is to promote this contest in your countries, to have a poster, so to have something visual for your contest, to be promoted on your social media, or on to be also to be sent to the media, or in a case if you want to be more media coverage. So this promotion is available from international team of Wikimedia Ukraine. So if you don't have knowledge how to design something, you can ask from them. And the third topic that we will discuss also further at the end of this session is funding. How it is the base of the funding, how it is possible to get a fund for organizing a campaign. It is 3 options. for a larger and more organized affiliates and user groups, it is annual plans. But also in case you're individual or if you don't have it in the general budget, but you're interested in this campaign, it is also option to get a rapid grant. And also it is very important to get other funding, like maybe not just for whole contest and for whole campaign, but for some parts of the campaign. But we will get in the details after starting our panel discussion, which we will start now.
Thank you very much, Barbara. Thank you very much, Tony. Yeah, so these were like the main topics we will talk about today. And as I said at the beginning of this introduction, we have some amazing sharers and or speakers today with us that will share their experience and knowledge with all of us that would like to learn more and that would like to organize this campaign in the future. So Tony and Barbara will be today facilitators of this discussion. So I'm giving my word to them and I'm asking our speakers to join us.
Yes, thank you, Gorana.
Just before we start, we will share the link to Retroboard for you to ask questions, give suggestions, or add some comments, but also you can write them in the chat box. We will try to collect them all and give you answers to them. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. I think first question and also opener of this session is for Alexia to explain from the international team point of view how it is the international campaign of the Wiki Loves Earth, how it is organized, and this whole timeline.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Alexia and I'm the International Project Manager for Wiki Loves Earth, and we'll be happy to answer the questions. So the first and main question is how the international campaign organized in general. So as you already heard, and also Barbara and Tony told that the basic aim of the competition is to collect the photos of natural heritage sites, as in nature reserves, landscapes, conservation areas, national park, remarkable gardens. It also can be forests, caves, etc. And all of that to illustrate articles in the worldwide free encyclopedia, of course, Wikipedia and other Wikimedia Foundation project. So this year is the 11th edition of the contest, and the international winning photos again will represent two categories as the same as the previous year. So the first one is the landscapes. It can include individual trees, if it's a nature monument. And the second category is macro close-up, animals, plants, and fungi. So this categories were created previous year. So already second year we are having these categories, and as we see, it's also much more useful and comfortable. So I will tell you a bit how is the in general international team is organized. For example, this year, so mainly in our international team we have up to 5 people. So it's mostly people from Ukraine, and but this year also we'll have. We are having and we are still inviting the regional ambassadors, to be to make contest more inclusive for everyone and to reach out the more regions. I mean, for countries, for people who don't speak English, but they also want to participate, they also want to organize and to know more about the project. So we invited some regional ambassadors who are helping us this year with the translations, with the sharing of the announcement, and many other things that we need. And also we are planning to have some webinars. in the end of this month. So we're having these ambassadors as part of our team this year. And it's also very helpful and useful. So one of the things also on the local level, again, yes, we have up to 15 winners with not more than 10 from each category. So local organizing can choose not to divide local winners into categories or can submit viewer photos. And the international jury will choose up to 20 photos, not more than 10 photos from each category. And this year, we also made some new rule that on the international level, no more than 2 photos from one author will be selected in the top 20, because, yes, we decided that our goal actually is to diversify the winning images and showcase like more natural monuments from various regions and authors. And yes, like more authors, more countries will be able to be a winner and to showcase their photos and natural heritage. And yes, mainly the timelines, the main timelines are from 1st of May until the end of July. And like dates close to that timelines are pretty suitable for the country's national competition. But yes, of course, some countries have their individuals, like some specific rules or timelines, and some of the countries can make the main contest for them, for example, since June till August, but mostly it's from May to July. And yes, like the main deadline, let's say, for submitting your local winners is the end of August. So till the end of August, the international team expects to have like most of the sorry. Yes, expects to have most of the international winners. And during September, October, the international jury is evaluating photos, and in general, we are as a team in general evaluating photos and getting ready to publish the results. So October, November is the deadline for the international results for this year. So far for this question, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Lesia. Now we are moving to our second question, and this one is focusing more on organizing or building a team of local organizers. So I would like to ask first Nicola and thereafter Zafer or Bashak to share a bit more about this. So it's about building local team and training new volunteers that will be part of the campaign. So Nicola, please, you can start.
Hello again to everyone. I'm going to share my experience that I have experienced during my first Wiki Loves Earth 2022. Wiki Loves Earth 2022 was the Shared Knowledge 3rd edition. When in 2022 last year, when I inherited the previous 2 editions, I inherited a system of previously constructed concept of protected list of protected natural areas of nature. So my challenge was to learn the matter of the natural sites, because as a coordinator, as organizers, you need to know the matter. I also researched some additional updated informations about some sites that are added throughout these years. That started in, I believe it was February. So I needed to start a few months prior, before the contest itself. when it comes to partnerships, I got a lot of help from the Macedonian Geographic Society, because they know people, they know those informations in which the list could be updated. And I could say, when it comes to the update, there were a lot of sites that were enlisted in our Wikipedia pages, so that the contesters, the eventual contesters, could know what is the topic, what are the sites they could visit, or in some situations they have a photo, already existing photo from their in their photo archive.
And Nicola, is it like, how many people are then part of this local team who are working as a local organizers? Is it you and some volunteers, or how does it work? Just like briefly.
Every time we have a local contest, whether it's Wiki Loves Earth or another international contest, or in case we have a Mark Porter, this totally local photo contest, we usually have a lot of volunteers. They're sometimes new, sometimes old Wikipedia users, and they are usually the team of jury is made usually on the end of the contest.
Okay.
So usually it's me plus 2 people.
Okay, great. And now Bashak and Zafer, the same question about organizing on a local level.
Yes, you see the team of Turkey here. All the team is here. We can tell. Actually, organizing Wiki Loves Earth contest does not require a big team for local groups. Actually, even one person can do this, but it's good always to have, we are volunteers. One person may not have time. So actually, it is usually it's Zafer that takes the lead, and I do things that he doesn't have time, something like it works like this. When we say a team of Wiki Loves contest in Turkey, we consider us, these 2 people, plus the jury, which consists of 3 people, as a team. This 5-person works as a team. And of course, we get help from other members on topics that they can contribute. Our job is just organizing this work. For example, this contest, obtaining the list is the job of the organizers, or preparing the website, translating the central notice banner, that's the job of organizers. And when it comes to promotion, we get help from different members of the community. Good. Some can help for preparing social media material. Some might help for preparing bullet press, contacting with the national press, for example, because in our case, it's really important to communicate this through national channels. This contest is something that made our community visible. And we need help from as many people as possible for promotion out of the Wiki community. And for example, what else we need, of course, at the beginning, first we had to organize a jury. So the first year is always the most difficult when you make everything for the first time. But after organizing, we continued working with the same jury. And also we need some to organize prize. That makes work. We might get help for, we need to find funding for these prizes, etc. We can handle this 2 people, but if we cannot do it, we can get help from other members, but 2 persons is enough.
Okay, great. Yeah, thank you, Bashak. It was very detailed and understandable. Thanks.
Thank you, Bashak and Nicole. Bashak, you already mentioned promotion, but this question is also maybe Nicola can share how they promote okay, before I continue. Zafer, do you want something to add?
add one more thing about it, jury. We decided the last year add the new juries. We have now 3 juries, and we offered our past winners, the photographers, and we asked them to can they join us to do our jury, and they accepted. And also you can manage for the next years for the balancing the juries, and also the old juries can be a little bit tired because they are looking to the 3,000 photos every year. Maybe change to some juries also. Now we decided this year 5 juries we will be, and the 2 new juries, it is the past winners, our last 2 years winners.
Okay, thank you. This was a good idea that you used. So our next question is for promotion that Başak already said that they're using in Turkey, but maybe Nicola and Anton from Ukraine can share how they promote their answers. And Nicola that already shared that in Macedonia it is partnership with Macedonian Geographical Society. Maybe Turkey and Ukraine also make other partnerships during organizing this contest. Or maybe Nicola can, or Anton,
Sorry, so I can start. I have one slide on this topic, and I can start with some tips for promotion on my side. Okay. Sorry, I'm having some technical issues. Can you hear me? Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can hear you, but we didn't see your.
Okay. Sorry, one more time, one more attempt. Yes. Cool. So about promotion of Wiki Loves Earth, first of all, let me briefly introduce myself for those who haven't had a chance to meet me. I'm the programs coordinator at Wikimedia Ukraine. One of my responsibilities, among other things, has been being the project manager for the local Ukrainian contest of Wiki Loves Earth. And the Ukrainian contest is one of the biggest local contests of Wiki Loves Earth. It's actually originated in Ukraine in 2013, and since then Ukraine has been one of the larger contests. Unfortunately, we were not able to hold the contest last year because of the start of the full-scale war by Russia, and we are still not sure if we will be able to hold a local contest this year as well. But we have a lot of experience accumulated from previous years, since 2013 until 2021, and I had been the project manager for the contest since 2019, so I managed 3 editions. And regarding promotion of the campaign, from my experience, there are 2 the best options for promotion. They are the best both because they are most effective in reaching the people you want to reach, and because they are free to use. They rely on existing Wikimedia infrastructure, and you don't have to pay Meta or Facebook or Instagram or any other company. So the first option is central notice campaign, banner campaign, which is then displayed on wiki pages, which invites people to participate in the contest. It is set up by the international team, but local teams provide some input, translation in their languages, and so on. And the second good promotion option is sending out messages on common stock pages to people who could potentially be interested in the contest. So if you held the contest before, this can be your previous participants, or if it is your first time, you can look for participants from your country from similar contests, such as Wiki Loves Monuments. And the international team can help you technically with setting this up, but of course they will need your input and translation to your language. Other good promotion mechanisms, I would say there are three things. The first is obviously cooperation with partners, and also even cold emailing relevant institutions and asking them to promote the contest works well, especially since Wikimedia Ukraine is like an officially registered organization. We have an official signature, and we can make an official request to local authorities, to national park, to nature protection NGOs with the request to share the information. We send them a press release, some information about the contest, and ask them to publicize it. For more like for deeper cooperation with partners, it might be useful to organize joint special nominations within the contest and choose like special winners with a thematic organization. So, for example, in 2021 in Ukraine we had two special nominations with NGOs, other NGOs who are involved in nature protection. One around specifically nature monuments protection, and the second is best photo of wetlands. And finally, of course, social media is a good promotion mechanism. You can use social media ads or just post on social media, and there are some good visual templates from the international team. And finally, once you start holding the contest every year, some people just develop a habit and remember to prepare their photos and remember to participate.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you, Anton.
Yeah, I think because the next question is like more important for all of you, I think that we can maybe going to the next question with the list.
Yeah, so the next question that we have, and it's for Nicola and Bashak to answer, but also if Anton wants to add something, he can. So it's about creating lists for protected areas on the national level for local organizers. How do you do that? Is it like do you have lists in your country? Was it difficult to make it? Was it easy? How did you go around that? Nicola can start.
Okay. To be fair, it was quite challenging to gather those informations, because you need to know how to look for, how to search it. First thing on my mind was the internet, official documents that I could gather, I could find on the online. As I previously mentioned, Macedonian Geographic Society helped me. I got as much as I can remember, maybe up to 10 natural sites that I added on our Wikipedia lists. I also need to mention that we contacted the Macedonian Ministry of Environment, and they asked me to come there. We had a discussion with them. I have explained our goal, what was going on. So they afterwards, I believe it was 2 weeks after that, they sent me a CD with a total list, of all throughout these decades, of all the protected sites in Macedonia, on every level, on every 6 levels or 6 categories that are that on the status they have. But I need to mention, when I received the list from the ministry, I just compared it to my research list, and it all was how do we say it?
Was it the same or?
It was the same. It was totally the same.
Oh, that's good. So your research was good.
Yes, yes. I also used all official documents, so the official newspaper of the Republic of Macedonia, a lot of research to help the eventual participants, because they need to know the preliminary data of what those which sites are to be photographed. I just need to say one more thing, because yes, there are a lot of natural heritage sites, but not all the sites. We don't need photographs from all the sites. We need to filter them, because even at many natural heritage sites already have a number of images. We only concentrated on those who have totally zero or just few. So the participants, even if you participate with some, for example, Oak Ridge Lake photograph, that photo would be annulled, because we previously from our commons community, from our general community, have contributed with those natural heritage sites.
Yeah, it's good that you mentioned this, because it's not the point that we have 1,000 photos of like a famous natural site and none of some less famous
is
ones.
Necessary.
Yeah. Thank you, Nicola. Great. And Başak?
For us, it was so easy. On the contrary, this list is available at Ministry website. Actually, this is one of the reasons why we make this contest. We would like to make other Wiki Loves content, for example, Wiki Loves monuments as well, but we cannot obtain a list. But this is very easy, so no problem. The list is there and it's being updated. We just take.
Okay, perfect. So we heard like two interesting things. So in some countries, it can be like very easily obtainable, like what Başak explained. If it's even published on the website, official government website, it can be more challenging. But anyhow, it's good. It's good if it's not so easily. If it's not so publicly available, it's good to contact authorities and try to obtain it. Anton, do you have something to add maybe on this one?
So I just wrote on the chat that in Ukraine we sent official request to the government ministry, then we receive information and organize it on Wikipedia. It is still quite a lot of work to organize it like in the wiki format, but we haven't had problems obtaining the data once we send out the request.
Thank you, Anton.
Okay, now I will ask Olesya to explain how which image is suitable to be selected for the international round.
Thank you. So the next question is what are the rules for participants? Let's share a slide. Hope it's visible. Yeah, so what are the rules for participants, and which images are suitable for the contest in general? So as we told before, the local teams might have their own rules, but the main submission for the international round should comply with those rules, which are obligatory. So the first thing, that image should be self-taken. So actually, all photos should be uploaded by their authors, and photos uploaded by anyone else than the author, like even with the proper permission, will be not accepted. Second thing, that photos should be self-uploaded during the contest period. Of course, participants are also welcome to submit photos they have taken in the past. But the main thing that matters is these photos must be uploaded during the contest period. So basically, mainly from May to July, but depends on the country. So everyone has their own general time frame. But in general, like the photos can be made in the past, but mostly uploaded in the contest period. The third thing, the photo must be under a free license, of course. The second thing, and the photos should contain identified natural monument. So again, natural parks, protected area, and list of eligible sites are published by each participating country. You can find it also on our main page in the participating countries. And also photos of representative species like animals, some plants, also taken in eligible sites, also qualify if they are properly identified. And as well, photos should include coordinates and have a full description of the area pictured there. The next thing, the photo should be nominated through a national contest, of course, and have at least 2 megapixels. And the last thing, that participants should have an activated email address, your preferences on their account to be easily contacted. Yes, that's it for this question. If you have more questions regarding this, you can ask in the chat. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Alicia. So Macedonia, like Nicola from Macedonia, and Basha and Zafar, like already shared that how they organized the jury or how they find it, the participants for the jury. So I will ask now, like Anton from the Wikimedia Ukraine perspective, how they find it, the jury. It is difficult to find it, or and like that.
Yes, thank you, Tony. So let me share my screen once again. Yes, so as general advice to create a jury, it is a good practice to have a mix of experts in several different fields, and I would stress like 3 categories of people. The first is Wikimedians, the second is professional photographers, and the third is ecology or nature protection specialists. It's not been hard for us to find people. People are quite willing to do this job. It's not like the most difficult job in the world. A good idea is to reach out to community members, reach out to active participants of photo contests. I think like my colleagues mentioned before that they're going to point to the jury winners of previous contests. And just like the only disclaimer is that take into consideration the importance of avoiding conflict of interest. Jury members shouldn't be their shop photos shouldn't be considered for winners. So if the person has uploaded photos and expects to win, they shouldn't be on the jury. If they either didn't participate or participated but don't expect to win, then they can be on the jury. And you can also reach out to external experts via social media or other channels. One more note, that jury members don't necessarily have to be from your country. You can ask the international contest community or or international organizers for help. In previous years, the international team did a structured process of sharing local jury members across countries. So maybe there will be something similar in 2023. Yes, a couple of notes about organizing selection of winners once you have the jury. Your local contest should have like winners up to 15 best photos, which you can submit to the international round. You can of course choose not to submit them, but it's better to submit if you can. And on the technical level, you have to find some tool to evaluate all photos. There is one tool which is called WLX tool. It was developed by one of the Ukrainian organizers, Ukrainian developer Ilya, and we can help you set up the specific tool. I mean, the international team can help you set up the specific tool, which is one of the tools available. But there are also other tools. There is Montage, another tool from the Wikimedia ecosystem to evaluate photos. And if you don't have a lot of photos, you can just use like Excel or Wikipage or any other simple way to organize photos. then the more photos you have, the more round of evaluation there should be. In Ukraine, we have typically a lot of photos, so many thousands of photos, and we have at least 3 stages, sometimes more. First is the initial review by the organizing team of whether photos even meet the basic criteria before they go to the main jury. Then the first round by the jury, and then the second round by the jury where they grade each photo. But if you have fewer photos, you can skip the first stage and maybe even the second stage and do it in one round. There is on the slide, and I will also send in the chat a link to a page more about our experience in Ukraine about that. And finally, once you've chosen winners, you have to double check them for contest criteria, whether they are the copyright is okay, whether they really depict a nature protected monuments and so on. And you have to submit them to the international team. There are guidelines on Wikimedia Commons on how to do that.
Thank you, Anton, especially for the last one, because for the winner images, you have to be sure, for this criteria, if it is author's image, or it is copyright and something like that. So this is very useful. So Barbara, we can also for the next question, I think.
We can't hear Barbara.
I was talking, but you couldn't hear me. Okay, so my next question is about how to evaluate the impact of the campaign. So the question goes to Bashak and Nicola. Bashak can start, and it's about follow-up activities and evaluation, basically. What are the steps that you are taking on local level?
Well, of course, the number of participants and number of uploads is important criteria. But for our community, since we consider this contest as a visibility, as an event that increases our visibility, what matters is also how much news covers and whether we could make it visible at national TV, radio, etc. This is also considered an important metrics for evaluation. And I would like to say a few words about follow-up activities. It's also important to continue communicating about this event after the contest, announcement of the prize winners, but also what are the stories of those and make them, for example, we try to make news about it in our internal bulletins, etc. But also at DIF, it is good. It's important because the photographers or winners are really honored when they made visible through such things. So it's important to do some follow-up activities. Like once we did it, we invited the winners to our event, community event, and made it was online, a small online ceremony. Such follow-up activities are important, I believe.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you, Bashak. And Nicola?
When our competition is over, when the results are finished, when the prizes are what's the word?
Handed out.
Handed out, we usually want to evoke the media, the people, the social media website. We contact website if they can make a publish about the results, that we have to for more and more people to know that we had an edition about protected sites and who are the winners, who are the photos, and that's basically it.
Yeah, great. Yes, it's clear, Nicola. And Anton, do you want to add something also?
Yes, I dropped a link in the chat. As one example, last year in Ukraine, we organized a campaign to illustrate articles on Wikipedia and items on Wikidata with photos submitted over the previous years to Wiki Loves Earth, and it's also important for us to improve actual illustrations of Wikipedia and Wikidata and other wiki projects with photos that were already submitted.
Yeah.
And like a volunteer point of view, like from my perspective, I can share that inserting galleries into articles of the Wikipedia pages, like for protected areas, is a nice way of getting a higher usage of the images that are uploaded on the commons, but are not so used on the Wikipedia pages.
Yeah, that's really a good point, Tony.
Okay, I can now share like that we mentioned in the toolkit, like this third part about funding. So what is the options of affiliates and organizations, how they can fund of these activities, this campaign. So first one is via annual plans. And usually like they're organized and chapters and user groups which are getting an annual plans. They can receive, they can reserve these funds for organizing these kind of events into their annual plans and getting into these grants. They can not necessarily needs to to define which photographic competitions they can organize per year, like we do, like share knowledge. Before I started to be employee in the CEE Hub, I was part of the share knowledge, so we organize like in our budget we organize like reserve funds for the photographic competitions, and during the year we decided that which of the contests we will organize. Other because now it is almost April and the campaign is starting for 1 month. If you wanted to organize but you don't have this kind of opportunity to be a part of the annual plan, or you are individual and but you still wanted to be organizer of the campaign, then you can apply via Rapid Fund. Rapid Fund is open per round. Next round is up to 5th of May. So you can apply up to this date with your proposal, and after that you will receive an answer if this is approved or not. So in this case, if you're waiting for the Rapid Funds, then it is useful on example to start with the contest from June, because you will know for sure if you get these funds or not. Also, it is very useful because in organizing these events, it is not just money for jury, like not for the jury, but for the winners, selected images. But also you will spend the money for organizing a space for exhibition, printing materials, and like that. So you may ask for sponsorship or to obtain like a partnership with some organization, like to organize organize printing of the materials to be like a donation from them, and to be also this is like in kind of donations. So this is like 3 main areas for funding.
What an amazing information we got from this discussion. So I would like to thank Barbara and Tony for facilitating this part, but also to our sharers for sharing their experience, their knowledge, and how did they do it. So I have one really important question for you. And because this is Learning Clinic and we are supporting our making mistakes and learning from them. What is like the biggest mistake you did in organizing this campaign? Or what is something that you would not repeat? So what is the most important thing you learned from your mistake or something that you did, but it didn't work? Maybe we can start with Anton and Olesia.
So I didn't, I don't have a prepared answer off the top of my head. Like one of the things which I wouldn't repeat is spending a lot of money on social media ads. I mentioned before that social media can be a good way for promoting the contest, but it is by far not the best way to promote the contest. So I wouldn't. And maybe not only ads, but overall, like the time and attention spent on promoting the contest on social media, I would like decrease the amount of time, attention, money, and other resources spent on promoting the contest on social media, and start with the tools that are already available in the Wikimedia ecosystem, and then only do social media as like a smaller priority.
So not spending that much money on social media, because even if we raise maybe visibility of the campaign, maybe we are not getting as many participants as we would like to, and we are spending our money. Okay, thank you very much, Anton. Olesia, do you have something to add? What is maybe your mistake?
Yeah, mostly I agree with Anton with that question. So far, nothing to add.
Thank you very much. Okay, so before I ask other sharers, just we have to pay attention to speak slower and to vocalize ourselves better, so our translators can do their job. Okay, now maybe Bashak and Zafer, what is your biggest mistake in organizing this?
I cannot say tell some mistake, but there was a moment that I thought maybe we made a big mistake. Our prices are not very high. We thought it is normal, but then when we first announced, I remember someone saying, "Is there 1 0 missing in your announcements?" That wasn't. And when we searched it, yes, in national contests, photography contests, they usually give much higher prizes. But then, as I said, it's a very big contest, and being a part of this is really honoring getting prizes in this contest. We focus on this, and we continue with the same total prizes giving it, and it works. People keep, even same people keep coming.
Thank you very much, Bashak, for sharing that. It's a very interesting point of view. And sometimes we are all struggling with prices and like finding a way to show participants that we really do appreciate their work and their time and all the effort. Zafer, do you have something to add?
Actually not, we didn't make it too much mistake, but also we are not spending too much effort for the social media advertisement, but we put the flag on the site notice, and it is I think this is very useful for the, as I can say, for the Turkey, because the Turkey is a little bit nationalist country, and when someone seeing the Turkish flag on the Wikipedia site, it is very interesting for them, and I think this is very good for our campaign.
Yeah, it's very important to notice editors and people who use wiki projects that there is something going on, and they can join us anytime. Okay, so Nicola, I would like to hear your perspective. What are your mistakes?
Well, when we had the last year's edition, it's not quite a mistake. It's more of a oversight by me. Usually, we always have 3 rounds for selecting the winners, and when the third round ended, I noticed that I believe, I cannot remember clearly, but I think all the top 3 most valued images were by one user. But before I said, okay, I mean, it's about taste. That's a one user who got them, but I wanted to coordinate with Tony and Kirill Simonovsky. What is the procedure in case of this? But they let me know that there is one prize per one winner, or i.e. per one photography. So in that case, the prizes moved to another participants. So technically, there was no mistake.
Oh, no one is making mistakes here. But thank you very much for sharing. It's very important to know that even when we are organizing something for years now, it's okay to make mistakes, and it's okay to oversee something and maybe not to be sure what to do. So it's always good to know who we can approach, and this is the place where we can connect, and this is the place where we can ask each other what we are not sure about. So maybe we can, we have some great questions in retro board, but before we go into that, I would like to ask you what is like the advice you would give to new organizers, because you have organized this for years now and you are experienced, but for someone who is starting, what is the thing that you would like to hear if you were in their shoes? What to do? Maybe we can start with Bashak and Zafer.
I think all Wikipedians already know this, but you don't have to do something big and perfect. You simply start, and it will grow. Just follow this logic in Wikipedia, in also doing outreach events, all kinds of outreach events. I would say that
it's important to start. It's important to make small steps, and even if maybe there are no great results, we can all be happy because we did something. Zafer, do you have something to add?
Yeah, I can say the same thing. We have a one word in Turkish. Başlamak bitirmenin yarısıdır means starting is the half of the finish. I think this is the very good word for this job.
Thank you very much. It's very interesting to get to know what are they saying. So yeah, we can get that in this campaign as well. Okay, Anton or Lazia, what is something that you would like to that you have known at the beginning, or what is the advice you would give to new organizers?
So in addition to the great advice given by other people, I can add maybe two pieces of advice. First, make sure that you have a team of people who are committed to this project. They don't have to commit a huge amount of time, but who are committed to do this for a couple of months at least. So assemble a team. And then the second piece of advice is don't hesitate to ask the international team for advice. And more broadly, don't hesitate to ask for advice from other local organizers. There are some great resources. There is a mailing list, there is a Telegram chat, there is a Facebook group, there is like private email of the international organizer team. If you have any questions, I'm sure that there are quite a lot of people who would be happy to help you and assist you.
That's amazing, Anton. And that's really like the point of learning clinics, to ask questions and not to be afraid to say, oh, I'm not sure about something, or I don't know something. Can you please help me? That's really amazing. And I really like to see that spirit here. Olesya, do you have something to add from your perspective as an international organizer?
I would say to try to follow all the timelines and deadlines that you set with your team firstly, and then the deadlines and timelines from the international team which are mentioned. And as well to check all the criteria and needed information, because I guess it's always better to double check the, for example, photos which are submitted or like any other important things needed to be submitted. So yes, I guess it's the main thing also for me.
Thank you very much for sharing that. It's very important to check up on the time and to follow the timeline. Okay, Nicola, what is the advice you would like to give us?
My advice to the eventual organizers is they need to dive into the matter. They need to know the subject. They need to know almost every individual heritage site, what it is, what it represents. You need to know, because you need to build a constructive opinion about the certain heritage site or sites. Why? Because in this case, I was in last year's edition, I was a part of the jury. So when I review them, I need to know this is valid photo, this is valid heritage sites, or this is invalid. So I needed to exclude the invalid photos because, for example, there was images from random trees, random forests. So I need to annual them because I know that this supposed heritage site is actually an individual tree. So that is my point. Know the matter, know the subject.
Yeah, to be familiar and to know very well what
Yes.
What is like the point of this campaign and what are the important things that needs to be photographed. Anton, you raised hand. Thank you, Nicola, for sharing that. Can you please, Anton, give us your comment?
Yes, thank you. So I just wanted to offer my perspective on Nicola's advice. I don't, and I think it is important to know where to check all the important data, but you don't have like to actually know everything yourself. You just have to you just have to know the sources of data to check. For example, if you need to check your local winners, you have you need to know where to do it, where to check. But it might be impossible, like to know everything about every nature protected site. But at the same time, it is also good to rely on experts. It is another thing we do in the Ukrainian team. We have some great experts on the jury and among the partners. And sometimes even when I'm not sure about like whether this site is actually a protected area or not, and I've checked the map, but I'm still not sure. I just write to the person who is like head of the nature protection NGO and knows this stuff much better than me, and he can offer some advice to me, and that has worked for me so far.
That's a great point of view, Anton, because no one can know everything, unfortunately, but at least we should know where to look for that information, or we need to know who to ask if something is needs to be part of this contest or not. Okay, so thank you very much. Let's try to summarize everything. So we must not be afraid to start, even if results are maybe we are not expecting best results, but it is important to make that first step. We must not be afraid to ask if we don't know something. We need to at least know where to find some information about sites that are being photographed, and we need to start basically. Okay, so we have a couple of questions in Retroboard, which is really great. If you have more questions, please write them there or ask them in Retroboard or raise your hand. We would like to hear your voices as well. So one of the questions is very interesting, and I think it can be applied to many activities and many events in Wikimedia movement. So how do you get newcomers, editors to get involved in the contest, and what has been the best way to train them? So we are all struggling with newcomers and how to get them more, how to train them, how to get them involved in our Wikimedia world. So how do you do that? How do you get newcomers? Maybe Anton, you have raised your hand.
Yes, thank you. So I already shared my take on promotion, so I would focus on the second part of the question on training, and 2 points I would like to make. First, actually, photo contests are a great and a relatively easy way to attract new people, because it is, to be honest, it is much easier to upload a photo than to write a Wikipedia article from scratch. So from our experience, you don't have to do a lot of work to train people, and it can be actually a good start for people to get interested in other stuff. In terms of the actual training, what has worked for us has been making a video, brief video guide, 4 to 5 minutes, just going through the upload process, upload wizard, and it is probably the easiest way in this day and age for people to show what to do. Of course, we have written instructions and whatnot, but the video guide is the best is the best way.
So video guide, you think it's better way than maybe some like written rules or guidelines? Then it's better to show them on video, and photo contests are the easiest way to get newcomers to join. But do you know if they stay in Wikimedia world, do they join maybe to some other activities or to this campaign a year after?
From our experience, part of them stays. Probably as with newcomers in other fields, not only in photo contests, a lot of them don't actually stay. They participate in the contest, and in the best case, they wait until the next contest. In the worst case, they never contribute to Wikimedia project. So it is not realistic to expect for everyone to stay. But I would say, I don't have exact statistics on hand, but around 20 to 30% of newcomers who participate in the contest go on to contribute, either contribute a lot, or they at least have learned something and they can contribute from time to time, or maybe just participate in the next contest.
That's really amazing. Thank you very much, Anton. And even these like 20 to 30% of newcomers that stay is also a great result. And I think this is a really good way to show people that they can edit wiki projects and on some other ways, not only writing articles on Wikipedia, that is the most popular one. Okay, thank you very much, Anton. Bashak, Zafer, do you have something to add? What is your way of bringing newcomers to this campaign?
Yeah, for bringing newcomers, always this central notice banner is very, very, very good way. For me, the real problem is making them stay. I don't think that we are good at that. I have some ideas, but we haven't really put it in use. Like after they uploaded, because most of the contributors, participants are the first-time contributors for this contest, sending them a message, thank you very much for your contribution. Do you know that, because well, most of them, I think some of them do not know what they are doing, just participating in the contest, but they are sharing with free licenses. So you contributed to open culture. This is just try to communicate them with them through emails, because they have to share their emails if they are participating to this contest. Might be a good idea. Because as I said, many people are not really aware what they are doing as they contribute.
Yeah, I can see your point, Başak. And sometimes, I mean, it's a really good way to invite newcomers, but sometimes it's really hard to make them stay. Do you know what is the reason why they don't stay? Is the main reason they are not sure what they are doing, or what is the main problem? Do you know?
Yeah, they are not sure what they are doing. In many cases, their names are not appearing anywhere. So this might be a reason. They have to get used to this open culture. People, I think that people are usually willing to see their names somewhere.
As we all do. Nicola, do you have something to share with us? How do you attract newcomers?
I use every way possible, from internet websites, from personal invitations, from when I usually use Facebook, I look for on Facebook, from my Facebook profile, people who are photographers, people who have the photo archive of the subject we need. I'm speaking universally, not just Wiki Loves Earth. I contact them. I tell what is about. Some of them, I believe, from all these years, I reached out in 10 to 15 photographers who already participated on our photo events, and some of them are reappearing. And that is relative. Why some try and are in Wikimedia community projects over and over, but some of them are justified because they have only photos of one certain thing. They only photograph one certain things. That in some photo competitions, they do not own any photo archive, or they do not plan to compete on this photo archive because the theme is not fit for them. The subject is not fit for them.
So maybe some people do not like the subject. Yeah, okay,
Yes.
we can all agree on that. Maybe some people just are not interested in that, and that it's okay. That's why we do have so many activities, and that's why we are trying to get more people interested in many topics. So before we continue the discussion, I would like to ask all the participants to put in the retro board what kind of support they expect from Wikimedia Foundation, from CEE Hub, from international organizers. So what kind of support do you expect? What kind of support do you need? To be more particular, so we can all improve, basically. We can all help each other, and we can all participate into making this campaign better every year. So while you are writing this support you need, I would like to ask, just a second, I would like to ask one more question to our sharers. I mean, we have more questions in the retro board, but we will try to answer them all. So the main banner we talked about, should it be active on all projects or only on Wikimedia Commons to inform editors and people who use Wikimedia projects? So what is your experience on that? When the main banner should be active? Maybe we can start with Nicola.
Can you please, Gorana, repeat the question?
Yeah, so
I did not fully understand.
Yeah, of course. So the site notice on Wikimedia projects or the banner that we put for other editors or people who are using wiki projects, where should it be active? Only on Wikimedia Commons, or should we put it on Wikipedia or Wikidata as well, if there is a possibility? So what is your experience? Maybe what is the best project and best time we should put site notice or banner? Maybe Anton could share first because he raised a hand, then we can continue.
Yes, so I would just say that a typical practice in terms of time is running it like during contest dates. So if the contest is in May, then it is from the 1st May until the 31st of May. In terms of the places, I don't have like exact settings on hand, but I think it is like multiple wiki projects. Commons itself doesn't get the traffic needed to engage people. It is all the wiki projects targeted for a specific country. So, for example, for the contest from Wiki Loves Earth in Ukraine, people from Ukraine visiting from Ukraine will see this banner.
Okay, Anton, thank you very much for sharing that. Okay, that's a very good practice as well. Başak?
And I think it must be definitely on Wikipedia. Other projects is not really getting any interest, taking any attention. But I believe maybe it should not be, I think in our wiki, it stays during all the time. Maybe it's just in the beginning and from some time to time, just to take the attention again, reappear, but not stays constantly over there would be better, because after a time, people start not seeing if it just remains there all the time.
Yeah, people can get used to it, like having that at the top of the screen when they are using Wikimedia projects. Okay, that can be a good tactic. Thank you very much, Başak. Zafer, Olezia, Nicola, do you have something to add?
Yeah, can I add one more thing? As I note, the banner stay to do all Wikimedia projects, and who is this visiting from that country? For example, even in English Wikipedia, it is showing to the Turkish Turkey message from who is the entering to the Turkey from Turkey. And yes, I agree to Başak. It is, if it is showing to the every time, it is sometimes it can be blind for that message. But when we are looking to the report, it is 90% uploader is a new users, as we're seeing to do that reports. That means it is very useful, that banner, for the attention the new people.
Okay, so yeah, that's a really good way to grab attention of new people, like, what is Wiki Loves Earth? Let's see what's going on. Okay, thank you very much for sharing your tips and tricks for banners. We had one question, and that was related if we can adjust the time of Wiki Loves Earth banners when they will display in countries, and Anton said an amazing link to coordination page for banners. You can take a look in the chat. Okay, thank you very much. Maybe Nicola, do you have something to add?
About the previous question that I have not answered, for shared knowledge, and for me, every user, whether it's Commons, it's Wikipedia, or any other project, Wikidata, for example, he is a universal user. So we have, from the experience I got throughout these years, some Wikipedians became Wikimedia Commons participants throughout these photo competitions or via other projects, our projects, such as PhotoHans, for example, or vice versa. Some commons, I know a guy, a user, he participated 2 years ago. He was a newcomer, totally new participant, and then he became an active Wikipedian. So we also promote them, because when someone is participant, becomes participant in our share knowledge projects, we immediately enlist him to our list of contacts, and whatever contact whatever project we have to be announced, we also announce to them, whether it was on Wikipedia or Commons.
That's a very good tactic. So to keep them in touch, to keep them to know what is going on and what activities and contests and editathons and all the stuff we're organizing we have. Thank you very much, Nicola, for sharing that. Okay, so we had some time to think about support, guidelines, tools, anything that you would like to have for this campaign. So I would like to ask participants now, what is something that to raise a hand and to join us with your beautiful voice on what is support that you need from, as I said, Wikimedia Foundation, CEE Hub, international organizers. Maybe let's connect if we can help somehow. So what is something that you need and that we can do better? We have some maybe future local organizers here. Yeah, or as Jessica said, something that should be included in the toolkit. What is something we need to add? Sherry said we need access to experts. Sherry, would you like to join us with your voice to elaborate, maybe?
Thank you so much for welcoming folks from everywhere. Hello. We have been, I'm here, I lead AfroCrowd, but I'm here as a leader for Wiki Caribbean as well. And we've been involved, but we're small. And we're not expecting to have like lots of winners and things, but we definitely think it's a cool project and we want people to get excited about it because there's a lot of potential for, you know, amazing contributions. But because we're small, we don't always have access to experts who could help us if we have like quick questions. For example, you know, we'll have these amazing photos, but do they fit? You know, do they fit what you're looking for? And do they come in the package that you're looking for? Also, you know, what can folks do who are just getting started, who want to participate in some way, but they're not very good at it yet, you know? And, but they, for example, I'm familiar with a group of photographers, women photographers, who, you know, that's what they do for a living, but they're not really so tuned into how Wikipedians do things. So what would someone like that do? They're a professional photographer, but you know, what's the licensing questions? You know, we have a great group of people who are very familiar with wiki processes, but it would be great to have someone who's really good at it, who we can just reach out and say, okay, what should this person do? And you know, that's it. just to be able to ask a question and get an answer, you know, and be able to direct that person to what they should do in that particular case.
That's amazing, Sherry. Thank you very much for your point of view here, because sometimes it's really hard when we don't know what to do, who to ask, and to see if something is a good fit. So thank you very much for your question one more time. I would ask our sharers who would like to give an answer to that. Maybe we can include Tony and Barbara as well, maybe their experience, or our beautiful speakers.
I think this access to experts is very useful, but I will mention that Anton's idea and advice for creation of the video too about uploading images, so photographers can see that video about licenses, about uploading, but for about licenses. It is yes, it is a complex question, so it is needed to have like a more knowledgeable person to answer all of the questions, especially for the professional photographers, as Sherry mentioned, because in the licenses of the Wikimedia, we are using that even the commercial use. So for professional photographers, that part should be like very well explained. That image, even even if it is on Wikimedia Commons, can be after that used even for the commercial use. So people uploaded that image should not be surprised or in the future, or that their photo is used for something else. So that part should be like very well explained in the beginning. Maybe international team of the Wiki Loves Earth can assist with this one, finding experts about this, about licenses.
Yeah, thank you, Tony. Tony explained really well, and also Anton, I see that he wrote in chat also what he mentioned before, that anyone basically in the world can get in touch with Ukrainian international team. For those in the CEE or Central and Eastern European region, they can always reach out to Hub, and we can organize another session or connecting, because we are focusing on the region, but we have international team for everyone. We have CEE Hub. And also these guidelines from Anton, I think, and as actually as we heard, how was it said? Like starting is the half or heart of the journey, so it's just good to start. I think that there are many people involved in many countries, so just reaching out would be important, and I'm sure that the help can be found, because many people want to also share experience and be mentor and help someone out.
Thank you very much, Tony and Barbara, for answering this. Anton also gave us a response in chat with some great steps. So we can also be a part of the Telegram group for local organizers. We can ask someone on the mailing list that includes a lot of local organizer, but also email the international organizing team privately. So it's important to know that we can, at any step of our journey in organizing this, we know who to ask. Bashak, of course, give us your support.
There's something that came to my mind before the panel. I think it's really important to make the winners or the participants, the winners made honored. And I always try to think ways of this. I thought maybe it would be great to organize a session like this after the competition for the winners, where they tell their stories, and that might be really honor being invited to speak in such an environment where there are many so big global audience would be really honoring for the participants, and they will not mind that our prizes are 1-0 missing.
That's really great, Başak. And yeah, sometimes even if there is 1-0 missing, we can still motivate them to join us and to join the contest. It's not all about the zeros. So before we move to closure, I would like to ask Musadam from the chat, what kind of support do you think is more needed? I can see that you typed like pre-designed templates by default for use in creating landing pages, sorry, for the organizers. So do you would you like to share more about that?
Okay, thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. By pre-designed templates, I mean like having some kind of template headers that can be used when designing the page for local organizers, like in the case of Wiki Loves Africa. So like there are already headers which are designed. The local organizer will just pick them and just make some arrangements in the way their community are going to organize the contest. So like in this case, we already designed the template, but I find it difficult, like when I compared it in designing the landing page for Wiki Loves Africa. So that's what I mean.
That's really good point of view, and to have something like that before we start the contest, before we start the campaign, it could be helpful a lot to new organizers on how to start, and maybe it can decrease the effort they have to put into this. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for sharing that. Before we do a closure, I would like to ask, I would like to open this space for all of us to share our thoughts about this support, about this learning clinic, about this topic in general. Do you have something on your mind that you would like to know a little bit more maybe, or would you like to add some suggestion or give us your opinion? So please feel free to open your mic and to share your voices with us. Okay, so we are not opening our voices that much tonight, but please feel free to share with us anything that is on your mind related to this campaign. I think we heard so many amazing things today, and I think we got to the core of this Wiki Loves Earth campaign, and we learned a lot from each experience and mistakes and a way to organize this campaign. So I think it was really useful, but I would like to hear your opinion. I'm giving you one more chance before we close, but you can always contact us and reach out to us if there is anything you would like to know more. Most of them said that the Telegram link is not working at the moment from his phone, so maybe we can check on that. And I will give my word to Tony and Barbara here.
Okay, thank you very much for joining this session and for participating and for contributing with your questions. As we do with the pre-session material, CEE Hub will try also to answer these additional questions that we did not answer here, or afterwards we will have like additional answers that we are not state now. So we will try to have it like a post session material as well. And to be sent out to all of the participants on this call.
Yeah, I wanted to just also thank everyone for joining and for the questions and comments. As Tony said, we will work on like editing a bit our toolkit, adding some things like attracting new participants and some things that you pointed out as important. And I would just like to repeat, if someone needs additional help, someone from the region, then please get in touch with us, with CEE Hub. If there are some questions from other parts of the world, there is international Ukrainian team. Just don't hesitate, reach out, and we'll try to find out some solutions for the obstacles. And Jessica wants to add.
Yes, I just wanted to add, thank you everybody for your participation. I learned a lot from the session. We have a very quick Mentimeter. It will only take a few minutes to answer, but we would like your feedback. It's anonymous, so give us all your thoughts. There are 3 questions. I'm gonna, if you can go into the link and share your answers now, that would be great. And Garana will help me read out the questions also for our interpreters. So I'll just quickly share my screen with the questions.
Yeah, so we would like to know more. Was this session, you have to like put on a scale, how was this session used for your work? If you strongly disagree or agree, we hope you agree, but give us your honest opinion, please. The second one is the content included what I was hoping to learn. So was this the content that you were hoping to learn and you were hoping to hear more about? And the last one, there was enough interaction with participants. So would you like us to make more room for interaction, or was it enough? So please give us your honest opinion on this.
The second question, the second slide, if you move on after submitting the first one, is what was the most useful thing in the session? And you can just write 1 word or 1 sentence. Thank you for the first answer to come up. A lot of different perspectives from different countries, everything. So the banners seem to be very useful. Answer to many relevant questions, useful tips, best practices to do and avoid. So learning from things that didn't work out so well. Okay, and the final question is what would you like to see in future CEE Hub sessions? So the CEE Hub is obviously mostly for supporting this organizers and affiliates in the CEE region, but because they're the pioneers of hubs, they also have probably a global role. So if you're not from the CEE region, you're welcome to also share your thoughts. What would you like to see in future sessions on other topics, on other trainings? that you would like to see this wonderful hub lead. I will stop sharing, but please add some of your thoughts. All your feedback will help us improve and plan our future adventures. Over to you, Barbara, to close.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. Also, Gorana and Jessica, big thank you for organizing this first session that we are cooperating on together. I think it really was well organized. Also, thank you for all the sharers, which were really amazing with different perspectives and from coming from different experiences, but then also having many things in common. So thank you for sharing. It was really great. And of course, thank you for all participants. As I said, we will be coming back to you with some materials, and this session was recorded, so you can always come back to some things if you want to listen to them again. And just reach out if you need something from the region and also outside if you have questions about the region and want to connect on something. Thank you.
I'll stop recording now and feel free to